Yeah, exactly. You never knew who was going to get offended by religion.
The same way that Constantine is very, it could be very offensive to people.
Dude, I remember I was working in downtown at the county assessor's building, and there was a lot of religious people there. And before Constantine came out, there was this dude who brought me an article about it on his phone, and he was like, yo, they're making this movie, right, about this guy who shoots people with the holy gun. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, he goes around and he does like exorcists on people, and it's gonna be Keanu Reeves, and he has holy brass knuckles. And I was like, wait, what? So just hearing that, it sounded like a weird comic book adaptation, but when you see it, you have to see it to understand it, I guess. But I guess if you're really hardcore religious, it would offend you. But, I have faith, but I'm not offended by it.
No,
it's a movie.
But not everyone is able to
depict or
separate art from religion.
I believe that, yeah. Which sucks because it's a fucking movie, and it's not like a, how you say, it's not being forced on people like a religion or like, hey, it's just another.
And I feel like Hellboy, in their defense, for Constantine too, it's a relatively happy ending for both.
Yeah.
Where they overcome, and good reigns over evil. So what's the big deal?
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe they just don't want it to be glorified like how I hate how Spielberg glorifies Nazis. See, and that was the beef that I was like kind of like, I didn't really back then, when I first saw it, I was like, there's like Nazis in it, but there really is not too many.
No, it's really that opening scene, and then it kind of jumps away from that.
Because it's the repercussions on what the fuck the Nazis did, like the aftermath of what they did.
Exactly.
And Rasputin wasn't even a Nazi. He was just an opportunist.
Yeah, and I feel like the way that the narrative is told, and makes, like we were just discussing, it makes the Nazis seem ill-advised and like clowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they don't think about the bigger picture of what could have happened.
Kind of like they want to just
they're seeing red.
Yes.
Where nothing else. It's just fucking what do you say, like blinders on.
Yep.
We're just like, we'll just do this.
Yeah.
And they don't think about the giant global repercussions.
They're like the underpants gnomes. You know the underpants gnomes? Like they go point A to point C, but they don't know about point B. Mm-hmm. So, no, I get it. Yeah, but that's why I was like, I can see how it's the Nazis are kind of cheeky in this too. They're supernatural, and that's okay because it's a graphic comic book. But for like Indiana Jones and for like Schindler's List, I'm like, man, I don't like seeing that shit. That's serious Nazi shit. Mm-hmm. But if you want to like shoot them up like in Kung Fury, Inglourious Bastards, we got a man that wants to die for country out here.
Or Jojo Rabbit is a great. I'm not sure if you've seen that yet.
I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit.
Great example of this. Where
is that the where it's like bunnies or like people that are it's like furries?
No. It's about this. It's
claymation.
World War II. No, it's live action.
Oh,
World War II, where the kid he envisions Hitler like as his buddy, like his imaginary friend is Hitler, but it's because he envisions Hitler to be like childish like him because he doesn't know better. You know what I mean? And so
makes sense.
It's really an anti-hate message. Mm-hmm. So the movie works, you know what I mean? Because it's not taking itself seriously. What's his name that played Jojo Rabbit? He's a well-known director. He did Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, the Indian dude who was the rock,
Taika Waititi.
Yes,
he plays Hitler.
Oh, really?
Yes. And when they asked him in an interview, did you do any kind of research so you could get like his character right. He said, "Fuck no," because that guy was a cunt. Like, I don't give a fuck how I embody him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the whole point of the movie. And, you know, so I agree with you, and I think you have a solid point on that.
It should be like so funny, you know? Like, it should be like, these fucking people were so horrible that we want to, like, immortalize them as pieces of shit, like funny, like kind of like comedic. Like, I don't know. And it also makes me kind of feel bad too, like if you were Russian, like all of the Russians always are the bad guys in all the movies, you know, and like American movies especially.
There's tropes, you know, like in the new Rambo Last Blood, I think it's called. It's like he's going after the Mexican cartel. And doing that. Being Stallone being conservative, whether or not he's like, you know, more a liberal conservative, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe don't do that. Like in the era of Trump, you know, very questionable there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, going back to the whole Nazi thing in Hellboy, it didn't really affect me, or like didn't really play as much as a role as it would have, as in like a, you know, Indiana Jones. Not that it was bad in Indiana Jones, I just felt like it was too much. It's too much Nazi shit, man.
That's like their go-to for
for anything. And then that's why in the Crystal Skulls there were KGB Russian, because they were like, you know, let's give the Nazi shit a fucking another Indiana Jones fighting Nazis. Come on, man. Shia fighting Nazis. No, we'll do it different. We'll throw Russians in there. All right, let's do it. But what would you rate this film, dude? Hellboy.
I think Hellboy's a solid 8.5 for me.
I'd probably go 9, dude.
Okay.
Only because I like the visual aesthetic of that whole film. Amazing. The characters I really like. The mythos I really like. The pop culture impact I really like. The replay value is up there. It's good. I can still watch it. It's good even on a rainy day. It's really good. It's just a good movie. The storyline, dude. It's almost borderline rom-com too.
Yeah.
So it's not a perfect movie, but it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, for the era it came out and what it was up against, it's definitely a highlight for sure. Yeah. The early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because there wasn't that much stuff like that coming out.
You had only one or two. Like you had like the original X-Men from 2000.
But that was even that. But that still was generated for like the young adult. That was still more mainstream. So Hellboy to me was like like almost like an underground homage to like that culture, especially because it did talk about religion and it did talk about like supernatural Nazi shit. Yeah. Like Wolfenstein. Yeah. So like if you were a fan of Wolfenstein like I was, like Wolfenstein was badass and like
still is.
Still is, yeah. Wolfenstein 3D on their first Xbox. I used to play that shit all the time. So it was like a live film of like that type of feel, you know? So that's why I really liked it too. And plus, like I said, Selma Blair.
Oh yeah.
Elizabeth Sherman. 9. I'll give it a 9.
Alright.
8.5 and a 9. That's pretty good, dude. And what did Rotten give it an 87?
81.
Yeah, see?
It's about like a B grade. Yeah. Knowing Rotten, that's not too shabby, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, is this pre or post V for Vendetta?
This is before V for Vendetta.
Because Vendetta was like in 05, maybe?
I'll confirm. V for Vendetta might have been '06.
I'm only asking because the Chancellor in that is Hellboy's dad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the connection on there. And plus, they're both really good, films. Like if I was in charge of like a theater, I'd do like Hellboy and V for Vendetta one night. That would be really dope.
2005.
Right after. So, yeah, dude.
And Hellboy has a better score than V for Vendetta.
Really?
V for Vendetta's only 73.
I
don't know if I agree with that. It's a great movie.
That's a really great movie, too. Did you guys ever do that one?
We did it together.
We did, huh?
Yeah.
We did it together.
Yeah, I think that was your pick.
That would, yeah. It would have. It should have.
Guy Fawkes, dude.
The 5th of November, dude.
It's a punk rock movie right there.
It's a really good movie to kind of give you an introduction if you've not familiar with that type of. Because I'll tell you one thing: when I first heard it, I didn't like it.
No,
I didn't. I did not like it. I did not like the fucking fact that it was V for Vendetta. I was like, what? Why? And then someone was like, no, it's because that dude's name is V. And I was like, is it V or 5? And they're like, well, you got to watch the movie. Like, and so I was like, wait. And I was so pissed off when I first got the dynamics of the film. I was like, this fool talks behind the mask. Like, do you ever see his mask? Like, without the mask? And they're like, nah, that's him. And I'm like, but there's like a bunch of them in the trailer. And like, you got to watch it. So there was already people that had already seen it. Like, a lot of my straight edge friends had already seen it. And like, the 24 dudes were like, yeah, just watch it and stuff. And so I think I waited maybe like a year or two, and then I watched it, and I really loved it. And I didn't know Natalie Portman was in it. I get really stubborn when it comes to movies that I don't want to watch. I'm like, I don't care. A
great example would be Drive, which you ended up loving.
I love Drive.
Yeah, you didn't watch it for years.
Yeah.
And then you finally, on your own terms, you watched it.
I watched it.
And you understand.
I get the vision of that fool with the mask on, like just standing there. Mm-hmm. That's really creepy. That fool is like, just standing there. But
it's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was about to say that's another good one, and plus the fact that it's kind of Kavinsky-ish.
Yeah. Like
it has that aesthetic, like you said.
I love movies like that where you're not sure you're supposed to root for your protagonist,
Yeah.
Like Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Like things go his way, but was he really a good guy? You don't really know.
You don't know. And that's the beauty of it, because nobody knows nobody.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. But that was a thing that, I don't know if you are aware of Wisecracks. I think I might have sent you something.
Yes.
Wisecracks. That dude talks about the dynamic of the villain or the villain and the superhero throughout movies, that it's changed so many times, where the person that you would think is the bad guy, if you were to take Taxi Driver and show it to people in 1940 and 50, they would be flipping out and being like, "No, this is not about a good guy. This is a bad guy because he wants to kill a politician." Mm-hmm. But you take that movie nowadays, and he's a fucking hero because he wants to kill the politician. So it's all perspective and time perspective too, I believe. But yeah, dude, I got sidetracked of what movie we were talking about.
It's all good. It's a podcast.
Yeah, dude, we talk about so many different movies, but yeah, dude, the characters of villains have changed within time so much that we don't even know. It's like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. One person could think someone's beautiful, or one person could think, he's the bad guy. Or not. 9.5. No, 9. I give it 9.
I got a handful of Swan facts real quick before we wrap up here.
Awesome.
They're pretty simple, but I'll throw them out anyway. I guess the film could have been made back as early as 1998 had it not been for the hesitation within the studios.
Oh, because of Hell.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that in that they were just immediately turned away because of Hell.
because it says Hellboy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't like the title. I